In my paper, I start with a review of historical studies in the journal. And as you will have noticed, very few are truly deep historical studies that have been published in the journal in its first 25 years. Now, I'm not saying the editors have actively discouraged such contributions. It may well be a case of self-selection that those that engage in deeper history go to other journals now that they also exist. But it's also the case that the usual social scientific framing of global environmental politics does tend to marginalize more descriptive or historical accounts. And up to a point, we just have to accept that's unavoidable. There's that tension between social sciences emphasizing theory-driven research and historians thinking more about particularities, about the specific context within which certain actions or events happen. But we have to remember, even theory-driven research still works with empirical or historical data. And this is where a neglect of historical methods becomes a problem, because we often take certain historical facts or data in the social sciences just as given without any problematization. We often don't make enough of an effort to ensure that our interpretations of so-called facts are not biased in any way. There is, as you mentioned before, that positionality that comes into it. What counts as a relevant historical fact is in itself a problematic question. So I think social scientific studies need to engage with historical methods to get their facts right that they so happily use. But by the same token, I think historians and their analysis also work with often hidden or not fully explicit theoretical assumptions. They make assumptions about how the world works, what are relevant actors or events that they interpret. And so historians would also benefit from greater attention to, say, what kind of theoretical frameworks they use. They need to both reflect on them, but also foreground them, make them more explicit. So I'm really arguing for a kind of a cross-fertilization across the social science and history divide, as it may appear.